any of the presentations, here's your chance. It is this gorgeous two-tone split globe wind spinner. First, we've never brought you a big deal from Plow Hearth. That's exciting. This is a company that's been around for over 40 years and that you've been trusting here on QVC. How long, Nancy, has Plow Hearth been at the Q?
6 or 7 years.
6 or 7 years. And so many of you have enjoyed their work in your garden, but never like this before. This split globe design, brand new. You've never seen it before, so we're excited to bring that to you. And at a great price. You could go to plowandhearth.com and buy this same wind spinner for $99.95. We have it for $30 less. We have it on Easy Pay. And we have it at 3 different color options for you to choose from. So let me I'll do my colors and I'll land on Nancy Brandmuller. How's that? So the first one that we have for you here is what we're calling yellow orange. It's golden, all right? Don't think school bus yellow and pumpkin orange. Think warm, deep, rich, coppery tones of orange. Think of beautiful sunlight golds. That's what you think of, the most beautiful head of hair you've ever seen highlighted. That's what you have here in this wind spinner. So that's what we're calling our yellow and orange, but it is so much prettier than those colors indicate. Here is the one that has been the most popular so far. So this is the one we're calling the blue and the purple, but look how it's also fuchsia, right? So you have this deep fuchsia, goes into your purples, goes down into like an indigo, and ends in blue. And then when it spins, look how it glistens. Absolutely stunning. One piece is rotating one way, the other piece is rotating the other, and that's how you get that beautiful spinner effect. And finally, down here at the end, I love this one. This one's my favorite. I think it's the most classic. I think it's the most versatile. It doesn't matter what kind of house you have, what kind of things you like to plant, and if you have nothing else in your yard and you just want something elegant and pretty with height and sort of presence, this is the color we're calling our copper bronze. It has more of a matte finish. Also think of the bronze hardware that you might have on your front door, your oil rub bronze lanterns, those kinds of things. It's going to pull that color tone beautifully with that spinner. Nancy Brandmuller has been bringing us the Plow Hearth items here at QVC, along with a lot of other great indoor outdoor items. Good to see you.
Hi Jill, thanks for having me.
So take us through this spinner. I mean, it's been very popular already tonight. People are really loving it. This whole big globe idea makes a statement.
I know.
The way it's split and creating these feather looks. There's a lot to talk about.
There is. And you know, when I went down to Plow Hearth in November and first saw this spinner, I was like, wow, that is really cool, because it is so different than anything that they've ever done before.
Yeah.
You've got these kind of feathers, 32 feathers of metal that are angled just right, and they're going to capture the wind, and they're going to turn in the opposite directions. That's why Jill and I are spinning them in opposite directions. Because of the curve, the top is going to be going over to the right, the bottom is curving up and over to the left, and that's going to make it so that no matter which way the wind comes, it's going to be captured, and it's going to give it this gentle, graceful, beautiful swirl of these two halves of the spinner. And I think our colors are really spectacular too. So I think we have something for everyone. The one that we're looking at here, I feel like you mentioned, is kind of our classic look.
Yes.
It's those metals, that's just kind of copperish bronze. I also think if you're a rose gold girl, it kind of has that undertone in it too.
Yes.
So that is kind of our classic.
And here's what I would say about that. As you're looking at that copper bronze choice, I know that the pink, purple, blue is really, really pretty, but is that something you're always going to want to look outside and see? Might be pretty one season, but you know, are you going to still love it? It's kind of like when you go shopping sometimes and you try on something, and the whole time you're looking at it, as much as you like it, there's this little voice inside of your head that says, but are you really going to wear it? So what I would say to you is, if you're kind of like hedging between, do I do the color or do I do the copper? Do I do the color or do I do the copper? If you're hedging a little bit for the color, go with the copper, because I think over the course of time, you'll never be sorry that you went there. Not that you're going to be sorry with the others, but I think if you're like on the fence, do I do the color or do I stay more classic? Go with the more classic, because there's nothing offensive or anything to tire of in that more elegant look.
And it's not going to conflict, you know, it's going to go with pretty much anything that you have. So whether you have your, you know, your pretty azaleas or geraniums, or if you have daylilies or irises, it's going to go.
Or your Luminara lanterns.
Yeah,
like all,
really
I mean, just so good.
Right.
Then we come to this color.
Fun.
And I get it, because they're beautiful.
Yeah.
The way they executed this ombre effect
so
from
pretty.
turquoise blue to indigo to periwinkle lavender to fuchsia is really fantastic.
And this has more of a high gloss finish.
Yes.
You'll see that kind of just even here in the studio, where our copper bronze version had more of a matte finish. If you want that shimmer and shine that the sun is really going to play off of, and you're going to see these bright, brilliant colors. Maybe you live in an area where you have lots of shade. I had a home where I couldn't grow a flower to save my life. I absolutely couldn't. So I was just aching for color. So that's what this one is going to bring to you. Those vibrant blues and purples and that fuchsia, and again, that beautiful curve of these feathers of metal that are going to capture the wind. There is no bad side to this.
Yeah.
There isn't a front,
Right.
there isn't a back, there isn't, a spot that the wind isn't going to capture this. So even the slightest breeze is going to make this swirl and gracefully dance in your garden. And then next to Jill, this is for sunshine.
Yes.
That's for someone who wants to have bright and beautiful and sunny, and I like how you mentioned earlier, if you have that spot in your garden that's just kind of shady,
Yes.
or you do have a shady garden like I had a house ago, that's a beautiful one to kind of add that sunshine, that kind of element that's going to be bright and cheery, and when you look out, you're just thinking daisies and sunshine and just something that's so pretty and bright.
And again, we're calling it yellow orange, but it's more of those warm golden, earthy, coppery gold tones.
Yes.
Here's what I need to remind you of, and I mentioned this earlier, but let's just reiterate it, because you could buy this from plowandhearth.com. They'll take your money. You're going to spend $30 more. When this is no longer priced as a QVC 2 big deal, the price on this is going to be almost $85. Our price is $30 less than what you would spend at plowandhearth.com. And don't forget, it's QVC. We give you the opportunity to spread your payments out over 5 months at just $13.99 a month. The other thing that I think is important about this design, Nancy, is the height. This is 82 inches tall. It's almost 7 feet tall. Why is that important? Because even if you have butterfly bushes that grow up to be about 4 feet tall, some of your hydrangeas that are more mature and getting larger, this is still going to rise above those. So you can put this in an established garden and flower bed.
Absolutely can.
Or if you just have a smaller garden and you don't really have things that grow up and give you height, maybe you never even thought about that when you started to plant. You just threw a whole bunch of stuff into the ground and hoped it stuck. Well, now this gives you height, it gives you movement, it gives visual interest and texture. You could take some of those hydrangeas from Roxanne that we just showed you and plant those around this.
Wouldn't that be pretty?
Stake those around it, because this has those purples and blues in it, and then you could do the purple and blue hydrangea lights, and wouldn't that be so pretty in the evening?
It would be beautiful, yeah.
I would buy a solar spotlight and shine it up on this. So in the evening time,
I love
it
that
remains
idea.
a focal point in your garden.
Yeah, and the other thing too is you might have moved into a home where there's not much going on in your garden. It's new, maybe you're in a new development, and it's really hard to wait for trees to give you any kind of height or anything. You might have planted that crepe myrtle, but it's going to take you years to get up to 7 feet tall.
Yes.
If you're waiting for that dogwood tree to give you some height in your garden, a spinner is going to instantly give you height. It's going to give you something that's dramatic in your garden. And I love that you might be able to use this in your backyard when you're going to be sitting out on your deck and drinking your lemonade or having your coffee in the morning while you're reading a book, or you're watching the kids play in the garden, and it's just that peaceful look when you are looking out there. Or maybe you're putting it in your front yard because you want a statement piece. You want something in your front yard, so when your friends are coming over for a party, or you have the gals over for book club, you have something that's a statement piece. And honestly, I think if this is in your front yard, you're going to have people stopping. People
Yeah.
are going to stop, and they're just going to look, or they're going to be looking, going slowly by and wondering where you got such a spectacular spinner. And Plow and Hearth is known for their spinners. They've got the designers in-house, they've got the engineering down, because you'll notice it's quiet.
Yeah.
You're not hearing anything. So you're still hearing the birds singing. In fact, I have a video on my Facebook page, and you're hearing the birds that were out enjoying the beautiful sunshine and enjoying the beautiful weather that we were having, and the wind spinner was not interfering with that at all.
How about assembly on this, Nancy? How do I put this together?
Very simple. You've got 4 pieces for your pole, and then you have 4 kind of halves that you're going to be attaching here. Really, really simple, maybe about 15 minutes. Really, I always say with our spinners, the biggest thing is figuring out where you want to put it.
Yeah.
So this is giving you that vertical decorating, and you want to see it possibly right now when nothing else is going on out in the garden. You want to see it from inside your house. So pick that spot. And this one is really not going to be affected by the wind patterns as much, because the design of it is going to capture the wind kind of no matter which direction it's coming from.
Yeah.
But I often like to say put it out where you can see it far enough away from your house so you can see it inside. If it's up against your house, you're not going to see it.
Right.
I like to be able to see my spinners while I'm inside my house. So, you know, put it there, or maybe in that really perfect spot in your front yard where it's kind of that statement piece, where it's something that's really going to stand out.
If you like this yellow, orange, warm, golden story, it is our most limited. There are fewer than 800 of them to go around for the entire day. That might sound like a lot, but we've already sold over 1,000 of these wind spinners total. So they've been very popular. So if you want this golden, think of it as a neutral. Again, think of it as your brightest choice. If this is going to go in a shady area or a darker area, you can't get anything to grow there, period. Or all that really grows there are things like hostas and things that don't have a lot of color to them. The nice thing here is you have this warm golden glow that will be absolutely beautiful. If you're really wanting color, maybe you want to put this in a flower bed where you're planting all of your beautiful iris and some of your bright fuchsia, Hawaiian punch, sun patience, and you know, those beautiful bright, you know, purpley pink colors of petunias. Then here is that beautiful blue purple combination. And if you don't know what you're going to plant, if you're not sure where you're going to put it, if you want just something that's always going to be beautiful and classic, and while it's there also doesn't scream that it's there, then I would suggest you consider this bronze copper finish, because it's not just the color that's very neutral and beautifully easy to work with, but the finish on that choice is more of a matte finish. So again, it's just a little bit more quiet and elegant.
Right, exactly. And while we're on this one, I do want to stop each one and kind of show you the close-up details on that one, just to kind of help you with your decision. So we're looking right here at our bronze copper one, and that does have kind of more of a matte finish. You'll see that it's not quite as shimmery here under our studio lights. You'll also see the antiquing that's going on and kind of some hammering texture detail right there. And that's all intentional to give it some depth and that real artistic feel. You'll also notice that the feathers of the metal are going one direction on the bottom and the other direction on the top. And that is also intentional, because I'm spinning them with my hand, but out in your garden, it's going to spin with the wind, and they are going to spin in opposite directions. In the center, we have our blue purple version, and that one you'll see has a beautiful high gloss finish to it. And here you've got, coming from the top of this feather, you've got that beautiful fuchsia going into a purple, and then down into this gorgeous blue. And you'll also see that antiquing, kind of the black streaking on there. That's intentional, because that gives it beautiful depth and dimension. There is a hammering effect on that as well, kind of a stippled effect. And again, you're seeing it going in opposite directions, the top and the bottom. And then next to Jill, we have our yellow orange. And like she has been saying, it really is more of a metallic, warm, sunshine, kind of warm colors, not flat at all. And they're, oh, beautiful. You're seeing that antiquing as well, and just the variations of colors in there that just make it so rich and beautiful. And the graceful designs just add such beauty to your garden.
It's our first ever big deal from Plow Hearth. You've never seen this split design before. A big statement for the garden. That globe is about 20 inches in diameter. The stake is almost 7 feet tall, and you're getting it for $30 less than if you were to buy this directly from plowandhearth.com. In addition to that, we have Easy Pay. 1,200 of these have now been requested today. It's very popular. We're going to take another look at it in a little bit during your Home with Jill. So Nancy, I'll see you in just a little bit.
Yep.
And we're going to go check in with Katie. Remember, we stream our show live on Facebook.